Hello, everyone. Today is November the 20th, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. We've got quite a bit to go through today, so I'll zip right into it. Taking a look at the ES, we had the trend line break. I said, hey, listen, if it leaves 5883, step out of the way and wait for it to recapture. Or if you wanted to sell the bounce, wait for a failure zone and then see if it holds. Okay, and so through the day, we saw that it bounced at 8. The fade, beautiful fade into 58.60. I did not have that number, but it does appear to be very close to the low of Asia's opening from several nights past. I think 58.83 is still the number to wash out, and then for the rest of the day, it was a massive squeeze all the way up, back through the trend line and forward. I believe the same kind of event is here. We are sitting underneath the hull, so a near-term high has been made at 59.50. So you can short potentially here, but it is bullish. The trend line here is bullish. This break is overzealous shorts that got caught flat-footed and then move up into the range. Next place higher is 59.70 to 59. We see liquidity at about 59.85. 59.78, if we look all the way over to the left here, it's old resistance, new support, and then support again that was broken. Looks like the high opening candle of November the 14th. Okay, what to look at for short? Well, we need to hold the pre-market low. We got a very light economic news event, but a lot of tensions floating around. So here we go. Breakout above 59.54. Going to squeeze the shorts again up into 59.74. Next area of liquidity, 59.87. That's buy liquidity, incidentally. Very interesting. And if we fade, we could come into that 59.18 area. If we lose the London area high, the London low or the New York low, that's 59.36. If you're looking for long, step out of the way until it comes back into value area low or begins to hold around this zone of 59.26. Everybody's waiting for NVDA. So where are we? Topping area for sure in the chart, sitting right above 840, but let's shift that trend line. All we want to do is attach it to the next one and not look at this. You might go, why do I not want to look at that? Because you can see it was a flush, right? All the weak hands plus all the shorts thinking we were going to make new lows turned right around on the dime, 40,000 and 20,400. Now we're up here. Interim high made, 20,868 is the current VWAP for this range of motion that we're watching. Low value area all the way to 21,000. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. I'm going to move this line down. And I don't know if that's a good line. I'm going to remove it. All right, so I think the traders are trying to get back above 21,000. My thought is it's a little long in the tooth, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So here we are, below 739. You want to step out of the way if you're thinking about taking longs. I think that number is 780, 779 ultimately, and then the flush down to this new heavy congestion zone around 20,660, and then we'll see if the buyers can go from there. YM broke its trend line. Let's see what this one is. If we move it, if I can get it, if we move it,
'to this spot,
where the range broke down, we can see that there's an upper area near 43,639. Look at the range. Very, very tight. Low area, 43,402. If it breaks that and you're looking for a long step out of the way. Break out above 43,639 based on this formation, you'd need to wait for a shallow pullback before it accelerates to the north. Okay? That's my thought. 43,781 on the top end, 43,080 on the bottom end, and then the line in the sand for buyers is somewhere around 43,422. Bitcoin's been doing a great job holding 91,000. MBT. Look at how the 500s matter. Make or break zone here. And this trend line, if I can hold it, still doing all right. Pullbacks have been buy zones. Heavy congestion now at the top of value area high, 52,831. I read this morning that Solana is absolutely going off the rails. The next line in the sand, of course, is 95,000 and then 95,500. Right? It goes up in these $500 increments. It's got some slosh around it, but it's holding. What's the ideal buy point here? Well, the breakout area is around 92,911. Looks pretty good. Should take a breath. We've had one touch, two touch, but this higher low line is really telling us pressure is building from underneath. I expect these traders very likely to come in and kiss 100,000 by the end of the year if they keep pushing. Let's take a look at small caps real fast. Pullbacks could be buy zones, right? This has broken the downward trend line up above. Heavy congestion here at 2300, 2309. That's the region I would look for buy. I'll keep my eye on it, see what we do there in the overall motion. All right, let's take a look at oil. As I mentioned, if we could hold this trend line below at the 68.50 zone, we'll have ourselves a run up into 70.50. It's where the traders are going. Now, heavy congestion, very heavy congestion. EIA report here today. API has been really wrong the last couple of weeks, and so the EIA report today might give us a trading formation that is very interesting to watch. Very, very interesting to watch. 70, big fat round number, but these guys like to go into about 70.20-ish, 70.12. If you're looking for a short, I would say you're trying to move against the trend, and right now, they are absolutely buying the dip. Right? So we got two lines to watch here. Pullbacks into 69.35. Value area high. Great spot to go long. We could have ourselves a blow off top if the EIA shows something significantly different to the API. Let's take a look at gold. Gold recovering. Essentially, we know that the dollar is sort of flagging a little. I certainly hope it holds its value until I get through the winter travels in Europe. That would be very nice. But here we are up in 23.37. Early morning motion was up at, 26.37. Early morning motion up at 26.50-ish. Looks like a number that they are going after. We do have lower lows sitting here, so the dip into the value area, the volume point of control here is 26.13. That's the sweet spot for me, I think, in terms of buying. Not sure the traders are going to let me get there, but we are seeing a little bit of a climb to the north. Let's take a look at SPY. Oh, we had a target butterfly in earnings, and 125 was our zone. Holy cow, that is going to be quite the banger of a trade. As long as it holds this 125, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. And so if it holds and dances around that area like it does for a couple of weeks most of the time, we should make 400 or 500% on this one. So that is very, very sweet. A lot like the Palantir one before we closed it. Say, oopsie. Well, it's already got this one. Trendline break, and then recovery, just like the last few charts that we've been looking at. And so same thing. Could they short up here? Absolutely. You want to try a short? Go for it. Be light and tight, and realize that if it breaks out, it could break hard into 93, 593. If it fades, watch for a higher low as your target. First area, value area low, 588. Second heavy congestion, 587.90. And then a ton of traders still hanging around support looking for a deeper buy at 586.36. Lastly, we'll take a look at the Qs. Up 505. You know these guys are probably going to run hot on the earnings of NVIDIA if NVIDIA comes in and does what the market is expecting them to do. All right, and so that's 505 to 509. Pullback zones look like 502. This thing is holding very hot. All right, but still showing a region that suggests near-term highs have been made until they get broken. All right, so pullbacks here, 502 look pretty good. 501 looks even better. That would be my thought. Let me stare down Nat Gas for 1 second. Nat Gas continues to rally. This thing is a beast. I mean, quite the beast. Still holding higher. Not sure when this is going to fade, but this chart is called the Widowmaker. And so you want to be very, very careful. Actually, silver is also called the Widowmaker, but this one for sure, this has gotten very long in the tooth. It's usually a place that has steep acceleration that pops into the range. So for those of us that trade Nat Gas, it is still by the dip, but if you've been hanging on for a few days, it certainly could be time to take some profit. All right, folks, that's it. I'll see you on the midday Moneyball report. And until then, take care.